As I said, 2023, I'm staying in my lane, and I screwed up. I didn't stay in my lane. What did I do? Hey YouTube, what goes on? And welcome to Disavowed Action Figures, bringing another action figure review. Tonight we're taking a closer look at the Indiana Jones Adventure Series, Indiana Jones Temple of Doom Club Obi-Wan figure. Okay, so I'm the stay in your lane guy, and here I am buying a new line that I really don't have any super crazy nostalgia connection to. Alrighty then, let's get that out of the way up front. So, I'm happy to have this. Just for the record, this was not on the shelves at Target yet. It is a Target exclusive. I did have to give the DPCI to a Target employee who was frigging awesome. They went in the back for about 25 minutes, found the damn thing, brought it out, hooked me up with it. So I was pretty pumped to get it in hand. Now the big question is, will I be pumped to own this damn thing? We'll only find out when I get it out of the packaging, so we'll do that momentarily. But if you're new, this is how we basically do this. We'll take it out of the packaging, we'll see how it looks, look at the accessories, we'll move it around a little bit, and then the big thing most people usually want to see is how it scales with other action figure lines. So let's get them out of the packaging and take a closer look. Here is Indie Club Obi-Wan version out of the packaging, and I'm pretty pumped to have this thing, as I mentioned earlier. This was $24.99 plus sales tax, so there was not too much of a markup. That good old Target exclusive markup wasn't too high on this one. I think the other Indiana Joneses are also $24.99. Let me know in the comments if I'm wrong, but this will definitely win the award for 2023 for the easiest accessories to lose category. My God, it comes with some pretty cool accessories. I'm not going to lie. I had to go back and rewatch the first 25 minutes or so of Temple of Doom in order to actually understand what the majority of these accessories were. They are super tiny, 3 of them in particular, in addition to the actual sword and the skewer sort of thing going on right here. But out of the packaging, as far as my opening thoughts go, it looks cool. I did not necessarily buy it due to my connection to Indiana Jones. I really wanted this base body. I think you could do a lot with this kind of black tuxedo, white jacket sort of look. I'm not going to lie, definitely curious to see what some head swaps are going to look like from different lines with this guy. Should I have waited to get it on clearance? We'll find out if I screwed up or not. As I said in the thumbnail, did I screw up? I don't know. We'll find out. Let's take a closer look at the aesthetics of this figure, then look at the accessories. We'll see how he moves around a little bit, and then we'll get to comparisons to see how he looks with other figure lines. So as far as how he looks in hand, he looks okay. I'm actually surprised the likeness isn't as bad as I thought it might be. It's really hard to tell with this line, what the likenesses are going to look like, how close to the actor they're actually going to look like till you get them in hand. But as far as the head sculpt goes, it's not bad. We do get the black bow tie right there. We do get the black vest underneath with the white dress shirt. Some nice buttons going on down the center. We do, of course, get the flower right here on, I guess, the lapel. The actual jacket itself looks fine. Again, I would like to see how this looks compared to like a Moon Knight, or I should say a Mr. Knight Marvel Legend. I don't own that. I guess it is worth noting that this is basically made by the same team that does Hasbro Black Series. So obviously there's going to be some not good things regarding the articulation. If you're a Black Series collector, you probably know what I'm talking about. But some nice folds in the jacket here on the shoulder, down in the arm. Again, just overall, I like this look. I do know some people, and I'm sorry I'm blanking on the name. Shout out to the subscriber and viewer who is using this for an Archer custom. I think it's awesome. He's using this for an Archer custom in Kit Bash. I'll put his name down below. Please leave a comment, sir, if you're watching this. But again, nice folds back here in the jacket as well. We get the black pants. The shoes are a nice shiny kind of material going on right there. So overall, I think he looks okay. I don't mind it. The hair looks fine. It looks like Harrison Ford. What can I say? It looks like Harrison Ford overall. And I like the base body. I think it'd be used for a lot of things. But again, when we get the scaling, that's when we're going to see if it's limited or not regarding what you can use it for kit bashing and things like that. But let's look at the accessories. Then we'll move this guy around a little bit, and then we'll kind of do some comparisons. I think that's the biggest thing people want to see, considering this is a new line. And as far as accessories go, he has a decent amount. I wouldn't say it's ample. As I said, some of them are very tiny. The biggest one being the sword. Unfortunately, you're not getting very much with this offering. It's just a piece of plastic. As far as I can tell, there's no paint. It's just basically a silver gray plastic color, no paint. It would have been nice if they put some paint on this thing here to really make it kind of pop more, but it is what it is, I guess. I don't know. As far as this goes, I had to watch the movie, the beginning part, to see what the hell this was. I couldn't remember. This is essentially like a skewer of food or something, and Indiana Jones is basically trying to get the antidote. Pat, shout out to you, sir, which we'll talk about in a second right there. And he basically like grabs one of these off of a tray and literally chucks it through a guy. So I kind of feel like that's like classic vintage movies. You could actually use a skewer and literally like javelin this thing into somebody's body and actually effectively kill them. So some nice fire effects on this thing. So they did a decent job with what it is. And again, it's pretty accurate to the film. I think it's a pretty interesting accessory to get with this. Now getting into the smaller accessories. So again, I had to watch the show, the movie. So this is basically like an urn, more or less, from what I understand, that has ashes in it of distant ancestor of the like gang, I guess it is, that Indy was hired by to go find this artifact. Let me know in the comments if that's incorrect. Again, I'm not going to claim to be an Indiana Jones specialist anytime soon. But again, for what it is, it's decent. Now getting to the really friggin' small accessories, the really tiny ones that you're probably going to lose unless you're super careful. First, the antidote. So if you're unfamiliar with this film, it opens up with Indy at the club Obi-Wan, where he is bringing that artifact I talked about earlier in exchange for a diamond. We'll look at the diamond in a second that came with this. But basically, they poison him. They poison his drink. And this is an antidote. So they basically say, give us back the diamond, we'll give you the antidote. Very, very small vial here. Again, insanely small. I feel like the Carpet Monster or Bruno is going to get this thing on me eventually. But then the accessory of 2023 that will definitely be the most lost is the freaking diamond. I don't even know how to hold this thing for you to see. I mean, it is so small. I can't even believe they included this and didn't make it bigger. That is literally how big this thing is, according, as you can see, sizing with my fingers. That's going to get lost by a lot of collectors. But again, overall, as I shift the light back to the rotating base, a decent amount of accessories for this guy. Nothing crazy. But again, it gets the point across, for what it was. But I'm digging the accessories. Let's see how Indiana Jones moves around a little bit and look at our favorite part of the show, where we actually show some comparisons. And also, we'll do some head swaps as well. So as stated earlier, if you're a Black Series collector, you probably know what you're getting here. This is not Marvel Legends quality articulation. It is definitely Black Series inspired. So your elbows, unfortunately, you're not getting much. I guess that's technically single joint, right? It will rotate at the elbow, so you get the rotation right there. It almost makes you feel like the old female Marvel Legends buck, basically. But basically, that's your elbow articulation. Shoulder will go straight out to a T about there. Obviously, it will rotate all the way around. There's no bicep swivel, other than the fact that it rotates at the elbow. Hand will rotate all the way around. You do get what seems to be, I can't even tell what the heck the articulation is there. Is that horizontal? I can't even tell, to be honest. Actually, it pops right on, so you don't get much really at all there. Holy smokes, okay. So not much there really at all in that ball. As far as the head goes, will rotate all the way around. Looks down very far. The neck is its like own little piece, so it'll look up not very far at all. But the neck can do some crazy stuff. So you do get that kind of neck piece going on that allows it to do a lot of crazy kind of looks. I don't know if Harrison Ford actually requires that crazy look or not, but it's there. As far as the waist goes, getting underneath the jacket here, there is a waist swivel, so you can rotate it at the waist. If there is an ab crunch, it is going to be impaired by this piece right here. So I'm guessing underneath there might be an ab crunch, but it's going to be impaired by that. He will look forward very far if you hold him like this, obviously. As far as how far back, not too far back. In terms of the splits for the legs, about that far out for the splits. He will kick forward relatively far. He will kick back, actually really far for how back kick it goes. Not too bad there. Upper thigh cut right there. There is no actual boot swivel, but you do get a swivel here at the knee, as you can see. That will swivel. As far as how far back it's going to kick, not far. Again, I guess that's single jointed knees. Not too great right there. The feet will rotate all the way around. Goes relatively far down on the shoe right there. It'll kick up, not too far at all. And it's also on a rocker. So really, again, overall, articulation is your Black Series sort of articulation on this thing. Not that great, unfortunately. To me, it's more about how it looks, and I kind of like how it looks. I'm not going to lie. Also wanted to mention, you do get the trigger finger hand on the right-hand side right here, as you can see. This side's more of a kind of grasping, grabbing sort of hand. so that you could actually put the accessories in his hands. So did I screw up buying this? I haven't decided yet. In terms of how he scales, there's a reason why the Marvel Legends Bucky Cap body Nick Fury from Giant Man is on camera. First of all, it's like my favorite action figure ever. Secondly, what I wanted to do was swap the heads on these. I wanted to put the Nick Fury head on this body because Nick Fury has been seen over the years wearing a kind of similar look right here. Again, you can see how much taller this old Bucky Cap Buck is compared to the Harrison Ford Indiana Jones figure. Again, Black Series tend to run smaller. I'll also compare this to how it looks with Ghostbusters to see kind of how that looks as well. But again, you know, it is much smaller scale. Let's pop the head off and see how it rests. It's probably going to be too big on here, but I want to see if the head looks too large or not. So as expected, the heads do not swap. Archie, you give me heads up, but I still had to try it. I don't think that the Nick Fury head looks too large on this Buck. I guess you could probably take some sticky tack or something and kind of shove it in there to kind of offset the extra space if you wanted that head to sit a little higher. I actually kind of do dig that. I can get past the fact that the head isn't quite perfect size. As far as the Harrison Ford head, the Indy head swapped over here onto the shield or Nick Fury body. It will not even fit on the peg. It's much too small of a hole in the head. You could probably Dremel that out if you really wanted to, but even if you did, I feel like the head will look too small on that body. So I think basically the Nick Fury head looks better on the Indiana Jones figure than the head for Harrison Ford looks on the Nick Fury figure. I will add that strangely enough, as I sit here looking at this head sculpt, let me rotate the light real quick here. As I sit here looking at the head sculpt, I almost get some Ben Mendelsohn vibes. I don't know if it's just the angle I was sitting at or if I'm watching too many Secret Invasion trailers for Disney Plus recently. But I feel like you could almost fudge this as like a Mendelsohn for over in the Secret Invasion. So I don't know. Let me know what you think. It does look like Indiana Jones. It does look like Harrison Ford. But I don't know why I'm just getting Mendelsohn vibes at certain angles. And just for the sake of transparency, again, you can see the head rests there pretty well, but it's definitely not popping in at all. That head's that hole is way too big for the peg. Plus, you have to contend with the neck. So that's probably why it works better than I thought it might, is that, you know, the neck piece actually holds it up a little bit higher. So it actually can fudge a little bit better on there. I kind of like this look, I'm not going to lie. So I actually might get some sticky tack or something or other, kind of cram it in there to make that fit a little bit better. Obviously, it's not going to articulate, but at least you can get it to kind of sit further up. All right, let's do some other comparisons, because I know the big question with this line is how does it scale with other figures? So as far as how Indiana Jones does scale with some other Hasbro products, you can see he is a lot taller, actually, than the Hasbro Ghostbusters that came out with the recent movie. So again, as a Black Series collector, you probably already knew that, but if you weren't sure, you can see he does stand much taller. So again, Harrison Ford, there he is, also obviously from Star Wars, is much taller than Luke. So again, this is a Luke. I always forget what the 2-pack came with Yoda. So again, much taller than Luke. Let me know in the comments as far as Black Series collectors go. Is Han Solo that much taller than Luke? I kind of feel like he is based on what I recall, but I don't even own a Han Solo because, I don't know, they're everywhere, so I don't buy them that often. In terms of Marvel Legends, I already showed you the old Bucky Cap Buck. This is that new Vulcan Buck that Marvel Legends is using as they slowly kind of upgrade their figures and put figures out and reissue them on this Buck. You can see, again, the Vulcan does stand relatively taller than the Indiana Jones as well. So again, it will make it tough to kind of swap heads and such back and forth with these different lines. But there are your 4 Hasbro-oriented looks. Let's see how Harrison Ford, our Temple of Doom, Indiana Jones scales with some other lines. So kind of just like looking around the toy room back here, I thought these 3 look pretty cool compared to each other. So here's the Marvel Legends Kingpin Build-A-Figure, as well as the DC Multiverse Joker. Kind of dig the fact that they all are kind of wearing the white suits and tuxes and things like that. So kind of looks good, actually. This is, looking at them all together, this is much more of like an egg kind of colored white. As opposed to the more bright white of the Joker and Kingpin. I still think they look kind of cool together, to be perfectly honest. But you can see that the 7-inch wave Joker from DC Multiverse from McFarlane Toys does just basically tower above the 6-inch scale Indiana Jones. And of course, Kingpin's a Build-A-Figure. He's going to be bigger than all of them. And you know what? I looked around the room and I found 2 more white-suited figures. Here we have the Hit Monkey, and this was a kit bash I did using the Deadpool like Miami Vice figure. I wanted to replicate Magneto being on the cover of one of the X-Men Jonathan Hickman books, where basically Apocalypse and Xavier were all wearing awesome suits. So again, just, you can see the much brighter white here from that kind of Miami Vice Marvel Legends 2-pack in terms of kind of the more egg-colored white of the Indiana Jones figure's actual jacket. Here is Indiana Jones standing with the Mezco Toys John Constantine release and the NECA Alf figure. Alf looking very underdressed. In fact, he's not dressed at all. I'm kind of going all in with the white motif here, white and black. So here is Indiana Jones scaling with a NECA Toonie Terror Beetlejuice figure and the G.I. Joe Classified Storm Shadow figure. Here is Indiana Jones standing with an AEW Jazzwares Dr. DMD Britt Baker figure and Feral Cheetah from the Plunderlings. And last, and as everybody loves to say, certainly not least, here is the Hasbro Indiana Jones Adventure Series Temple of Doom Club Obi-Wan Target exclusive Indiana Jones standing with AEW Orange Cassidy from the Jazzwares line. And, I kind of think Orange is like, hey man, first of all, you're kind of short. Thought you'd be taller. Let me know what movie made that iconic quote. I thought you'd be taller. And secondly, you know what? We're both rocking jackets. I got the denim. You got the nice sports jacket, tuxedo. Let's go clubbing. And you know what? I just had to include it. Snakes. Why did it have to be snakes? And to answer the question on the thumbnail, did I screw up by buying this? I'm going to go with no. Here's why. I kind of forgot how much I do like Indiana Jones until I went back and rewatched the opening of Temple of Doom. Again, I'm not going to sit here and pretend to be, an actual specialist on the topic. I'm not. The figure doesn't look bad. Articulation isn't great. Again, Black Series collectors, my heart goes out to you because as a Marvel Legends collector, I see what they do on that side of Hasbro, and I'm sure you're wishing they did something similar over on your side for Black Series. The accessories, again, are going to win the award for easiest to lose of 2023. They gave us a decent amount here. Again, it was $24.99 at Target, so it wasn't like they were gouging us too much regarding getting the exclusive figure. I don't like the fact that it's undersized. I knew coming in that was probably the case. For my purposes, if I saw these on clearance down the road, which they probably will because they're Target exclusives, I would consider picking up a couple more. I can probably use those, as I mentioned earlier, for a Sterling Archer sort of custom or kit bash, or again, Nick Fury, just basically, a suited tuxedoed outfit for a character. So overall, I don't think I screwed up buying this. I'm happy I did it. Again, I did not find it on the shelf. I did have to give the DPCI. And again, people, if the Target employee is not willing to look in the back, please be nice. These people aren't trying to cause problems. This gentleman just helped me out. And it doesn't always happen in Target. I get it. But again, be nice to those Target employees. Don't give them too much crap. These eventually will probably be everywhere out there at the stores. Sorry if I made anybody seasick by kind of slightly changing the camera angle there, but I did want to quick check Instagram. Tariq, I believe it was you, sir, who messaged me and said you're using this for a Sterling Archer custom. That is freaking awesome. By the way, love Archer. They just announced this season will be its last. Such a classic. So we'll get off that topic. That's another conversation for another day. But everybody, thank you so much for watching. If you're new, please consider hitting that subscribe button. It's free for you. It doesn't cost you anything. Helps support the channel tremendously in a march to 5,000 subscribers. Go ahead and hit that bell for notifications. The way YouTube actually notifies you and tells you when we post new content on the channel, like our weekly toy hunts, reviews, and live streams. Leave a comment down below at that like button. And for daily toy content and daily toy updates, try checking us out over Instagram and Twitter at Disavowed_12. Hey everybody, if you're going toy hunting this week, please try to remember the 3 P's of the toy hunt. Patience, persistence, most of all, politeness. Take care, stay healthy, and I'll be seeing all of you at the pegs.